Well, YouTube universe, what's going on? It's Theater Carlos. Before we get started, do me a solid and give that like button a shooting star press off the top rope. Make sure to smash the subscribe button and then ding the bell so you know whenever we go live. So the other day I'm playing Call of Duty Cold War. And when I play Call of Duty, at least multiplayer, because Warzone requires a lot of brain power. If you play COD, you know what I'm saying. When I'm playing multi, it's very mindless. It's a little too I'm not thinking enough when I play multiplayer. So I do this thing where I play a podcast while I'm listening, I'm listening to a podcast while I play Call of Duty. So I'm doing that the other day. I'm listening to some Ben Shapiro while I'm gaming on COD, Cold War, because it just dropped. And I'm listening to the Ben Shapiro show because I'm a fan of it. Look, if you don't like that I'm a fan of it, maybe you should expand your mind a little bit. So I'm listening to the Ben Shapiro show, and he's talking about Candace Owens talking about, you guessed it from the title of this video, the Harry Styles Vogue photo shoot. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Harry Styles recently did a photo shoot for the cover of Vogue magazine. I'll put it right here. As you can see, he's wearing a dress, and that's been the topic of a lot of contention for a lot of people in the country right now. So I'm listening to Ben Shapiro analyze what's going on, and you know he's looking at it from the perspective of the attack on masculinity, and you know the 2020 era. Right, he's acknowledging Olivia Wilde, everything Olivia Wilde was saying about it, a lot of other celebrities saying about masculinity, and the statement Harry Styles was making about it. So I'm just listening to this podcast, and my beautiful, gorgeous girlfriend walks in, and she goes precisely like this. Why does everyone care so much that he's wearing a dress? All these grown men sitting around just being so negative because he decided to put on a dress? I mean, grow up. It's not that big of a deal. He was wearing a dress. To which my response was, babe, I don't think anyone's hating on it. I think people are just analyzing what it means when people start saying that it's a statement on masculinity in particular, not what it means when a famous man wears a dress. And that turned into a 40-minute discussion on the place of masculinity in the 2020 era. It turned into a discussion on whether or not she would like for me to wear dresses. It was a debate. It was a debate, but that's okay because debates are how we learn. So I decided, let's talk about it on the YouTubeosphere. A lot of people don't talk about this stuff. Or, well, a lot of people do talk about this stuff, but they do so, like, on Twitter in, like, 140, is it 280 now? Follow me at Theater Carlos. And, I mean, on there and on Instagram and things like that, you know, people do get loud about things. But I decided to talk about it on here because I thought it was worth talking about. Harry Styles wearing a dress. So maybe to start is the question of, is there anything wrong with Harry Styles wearing a dress? Absolutely not. I've actually thought about it a lot since I had that conversation with Jackie. And I definitely do think that a lot of a certain side of America is giving it a whole lot of attention and you know, really upset about it. And I really don't think it's that deep. It's a dude wearing a dress, you know. I wouldn't wear a dress personally. It's not my style. I think most men wouldn't wear a dress. I think it's probably not most men's style. I think there are very few men that would wake up in the morning and think, I want to wear a dress today. And I don't think it means any much more than that. One of the things I kind of settled on with my girl was, I kind of just said, well, babe, it's definitely not wrong that he's wearing a dress, but I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I think it's just a dude wearing a dress, right? I think now when you start saying that he's brave for it, or that he's championing some sort of movement, I think that's where I would rebuttal and say, all right, look, he's just wearing a dress. It's what's so brave about wearing a dress? Especially in 2020. A lot of people say things like, oh, I'm going to speak my truth and share this like intersectional fact about my identity. And it's like, that makes you brave, really? Because at least in 2020, especially in certain industries and age groups, like if you're wearing a dress, a lot of people are going to think you're really cool for it, like by default. So I don't think it's brave. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we ended on is I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. Who really cares? It's just a dude wearing a dress. I don't think it's brave. I don't think it's going to change the world for the better. I don't think it's going to change the world for the worse. I think it's just a dude wearing a dress. And obviously, if there are guys out there looking at him and going, hey, you're wearing a dress, then obviously those guys are like, I mean, that's where the buzzword toxic masculinity comes in. There, that's a separate group of problematic people. I think most people tend to be more on the reasonable side, and I think most people aren't really going to care if you wear a dress. Maybe, you'll probably get looked at, right? But also, like if I put on a dress and lipstick, like with my full beard here, it's going to be pretty clear that I want some attention, right? So like, yeah, you might get looked at if you're a guy wearing a dress because it is uncommon, right? That's the nature of fashion. We throw things on that we either A, think are comfortable, or B, are going to give people good impressions of us or catch their eye. So yeah, I don't think it's that deep. It's Harry Styles wearing a dress. It's a dude in a dress. It's certainly not brave. He's certainly not championing anything. He's just wearing a dress. I think it's kind of goofy, personally. But also, I've never cared about fashion that much in general. So, it's a dress. Who really cares? I always say, look, if you're chill, we can have a meal together. Who cares if you're wearing a dress or not? It might look funny. My brother in a dress would be hilarious. Me in a dress would be hilarious. I actually wore one for the better part of yesterday to make a point to my girlfriend, but I'm not going to show you guys that. Anyway, that'll wrap it up for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it unacceptable that Harry Styles wore a dress? Is it perfectly okay, and should everyone who's screaming about it shut up and just let Harry Styles do his thing? Let me know in the comments. That'll be all for today's video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to Theater Carlos, and ding the bell so you know whenever we go live. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, make the world better. Suck a little less.